Hello there guys, welcome back to another short online tutorial. It's Jack from Blue Sky Graphics here, and today we are based in Illustrator. What I'd like to do today guys is to discuss how would we set up an isometric grid for us then to be able to create some real cool isometric designs. It's very, very easy, and what I'd like to do is make it a lot clearer for you and then show you some cool shapes and what you can do to improve the 3D aesthetics on them. For logo designs, potential patterns. You can use this across many forms of graphic design. Okay, now as you can see here, what I've got already is an artboard already set up. But what I want is just a big space. Okay, just a big sketch board for me to create some cool stuff. So what I'm going to do is go to View, and I can go to Hide Artboards here, like so. So now I've got a big space for me to design. So I'm just going to quickly zoom out using the zoom tool there. And what I need to do first of all is create a line. So I'm going to use our line segment tool here. And as I draw down, I'm going to press Shift. So a nice straight line. Perfect. Now using my selection tool here, I'm going to use our little blue dot here, and I'm going to duplicate using the shortcut Option on a Mac or Alt on Windows, and press Shift to keep it nice and straight in line. Now that I've done a transformation commandment, what I can do is continue that by pressing the shortcut Command D on Mac or Control D on Windows, which I'll do now. As you can see, I'll keep my finger pressed down there, repeats it like so. Just a couple more like so. Okay. And what I would need to do is group all these lines together. So I'm going to use my selection tool and select everything like so. And right click and let's group. Perfect. Okay. So now what I would need to do is right click, transform, and I need to rotate it. As you can see, what I've done here is I've had the measurements already in play. First measurements you would really need to be using is 60 degrees. And if you press copy, you have now copied that 60 degrees. Now what I'm going to do is select the back group again, right click, transform, and you can rotate. And this time I would rotate minus 60 degrees. And yet again, I'm not going to press OK. I'm going to press copy. Fantastic. And now, as you can see, we have our grid all nice and set up for us. Now, what I would like to do is turn these into guides now for me. So it's very easy for me to create my shapes. So with my selection tool, what I'm going to do is select everything. And I'm going to use the shortcut Command 5 on Mac or Control 5 on Windows to now turn these into smart guides, like so. And now if I was to zoom in using my zoom tool, as you can see now, I have an isometric grid for me to start creating. I'm going to use my pen tool now, and I'm going to create just a very simple cube-like shape. There we go, like so. Let's swap that color around and put a nice color in there. Perfect. There we go. I always like to stick to the same color but different shades. I think it always gives like a sort of an extra sense of realism. And let's just finish it off with the shape up top here, like so. Perfect. Let's go for a real sort of light green, let's say. Nice. Now if we turn our guides off, as you can see, we now have a perfect cube. If you were to select this and duplicate using Option or Alt, you can now create simple pattern shapes. So by pressing the shortcut Command D on Mac or Control D on Windows. You may want to create a 3D triangle. So what I'm going to simply do now is use our pencil, and I'm going to create a shape like so. Perfect. And let's create another one there. what we'll do is we'll pick up that dark color there, for instance. Fantastic. I'm going to use my lasso tool, make a selection on the top anchors there, and then use my direct selection tool. Lift that up like so. And you see I have a 3D triangle. And just to create a better 3D aesthetic, what I'd like to do now is add a gradient to this. So I'm going to copy this by pressing Command C on Mac or Control C on Windows. I'm then going to paste in front, yet again, which is Command F, which is on Mac, and Control F on Windows. And let's apply a little gradient there. And let's build this gradient a bit better. Let's get a sort of a darker color there, let's say. Okay, perfect. And this one, I think we can make a little bit darker. There we go. Perfect. And then what I need to do with this color here is pick up the exact color like so. And then I'm going to take it down to the opacity down to 0%. Wonderful. And now I can use my gradient tool now to really get the angle I'm looking for. Here we go. Let's say something like that. Perfect. As you can see, the difference between applying a gradient and not applying a gradient, in my personal opinion, the gradient gives that just that extra sense of 3D-ness. Okay. And what I'd like to do, guys, show you one final shape that you may want to consider creating. I'm going to borrow one of our shapes up here like so. And what I'm going to do with that selected is I'm going to go to Effect, Stylize, and I'm going to go to Round Corners. And I'm going to increase the radius now until we have a nice round shape. Okay, perfect. And then what I'm going to do now is expand the experience on that particular shape there. I'm then going to just simply duplicate that up there by pressing Option on the Mac or Alt on Windows. Then I'm going to just simply create a nice rectangle like so. Perfect. Use my selection tool, select the two bottom shapes, and then use my shape builder because we would like to build this into a shape. Perfect. Let's borrow that gradient there. Fantastic. And there you have it, guys. Let's bring this to the front. We have a 3D cylinder that you can then simply just use your lasso tool to a little bit taller. Let's make it a little shorter. Loads of ideas that you can create with this isometric grid. If you're interested in finding out more, guys, about Blue Sky Graphics, the courses we offer, please don't hesitate visiting our website at blueskygraphics.co.uk. Also, take a look at our Instagram at Blue Sky Graphics UK. Some really cool work on there by our very talented students. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time.